Okay, there it is. I've got two BlazeVideo cameras just come in the mail, and I guess in the little blue and white package is my SpyPoint Cell-Link. So I'm fixing to open the package up and we'll see what we got. I just come back from getting batteries, so okay, we're fixing to do my own review. Okay, there's the two cameras that I got. I got them in a bundle. I won't say, I'm just ballparking, both of them for $150. We'll open them up and see what they look like. And there is some of the packaging. It's as I've opened it. The reason I'm doing it, the video like this, is because I don't really have a tripod for my cell phone. So I'm doing this cheapo style. And Lord, I don't know how the editing is going to go, but I'll do my best. Okay, this is what comes in that box. Strap, the camera. I still got the little plastic stuff over the lens. And there is the manual for the camera. And then there's your USB cable. That's for hooking up to your computer, I assume. Okay, we'll go a little further. We've got to get batteries in there. This is the camera with it opened up and the battery cover off. It takes 8 AA batteries. Let's see if I can actually get this. I don't know how this video looks, but you can see where the USB cable is, where you can plug it in. Also, they got a way to power this externally, so that could save on batteries. If you had a real good setup, that would work. And then you got your SD card slot. I think it goes as high, a maximum of 32 gigs. So you can purchase one of those. You can get a smaller one. I think the smallest you can get is 2. That'll work with this camera. But and then there's the tripod mount right there. That's pretty cool. I do have a tripod for my professional camera. I don't know, I just didn't want to fool with it doing this video. I want it to be pretty simple. But anyway, that can be mounted on a tripod if you want, if you're on the go and want to set it up real quick or whatnot. But anyway, that's it. Next thing to do is to get batteries in this puppy and then set it up. Now this is the kind of memory that I'm using. It's got the 32 gigs memory. I think I call it micro SD, but you've also got the adapter with it, so you can actually put it in either type device that, there may be a device that only takes the micro, but you got that, right? And if you have a device that only has a standard SD port, then you just plug your micro into your adapter and then you're ready to go. This is the way, it's fairly cheap, got it at Walmart, so anyway, that's what I'm using. These are also the batteries that I'm using. They're Energizer Maxes. I'm pretty sure that they're not lithiums, and alkaline batteries are not recommended for a lot of reasons. They tend to leak, and you get better performance out of the lithium batteries. But I went to Dollar General to get these, and I got them for 16 for like 12 bucks. So yeah, that's good for now. But if for any extended time of using the camera outside, I'm going with lithium or an external battery. That's probably where I'm headed, because I don't like buying these suckers. They're just too high anyway. So I got Energizer Maxes for now. Okay, this is a micro SD card I bought, a 32 gig. It's also the adapters on the left. Oh, what I'm gonna do, as you can see, I'll turn them up both over like such. Now what I'll do is put this one in the slot, if you can see it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, that's where I'm getting ready to put my memory into my camera. Okay, I slid my micro SD into my adapter, and you can see the little red tab or the red paint on the micro SD, so that's easy to see. Now let's stick it in the camera. All right. Now, as you can see I've got my SD card, adapter, and micro SD all plugged in, and I'm ready to put my batteries in next. You're gonna have to excuse my fart. I just got through cooking breakfast for my wife and getting her off to work, and so, but I've got this thing and I'm gonna play with it, and I'm gonna make this video if I can. All right, okay. The batteries have been installed. Now I'm gonna put the cover on, and then we're gonna, I guess, go through the setup menu together. See what this thing's all about. I'm excited. Okay, if you didn't see it before earlier in the video, this manual is for the model A252. I know there's other videos on the A252 comparing it with other models. The reason I'm getting it is merely for economical reasons, but I do want some sort of performance. And a little background about myself: I don't really hunt. I'm not gonna say I won't hunt. I just don't hunt. But I've had an issue with people coming on my property. I don't live there yet. I've had a few items stolen, and the reason I bought this camera is I want to catch the individual, and I think it's the same person. So even though this is probably good for wildlife and game, I am interested in what animals that's going across my property, you know, who they are, you know, possums, deer, fox, you know, I like animals. I do. I love animals. And so that'll be cool to get that too, but I'm trying to catch someone, and hopefully this camera will be good enough economically. Also, don't forget to take your little film color cover off. I just took this one off. I don't know if you can see it. I'll put it against something black like the cover. You can see it. Just don't forget to take these little plastic things off, because if you get it all set up and you're thinking everything's great, you forget those. And it's also on the back side, it's got the same thing. I haven't removed these yet, but you can see the tabs here and the tab there. You got to remove those. So I'm gonna remove this one. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm gonna remove this one. Okay, now you're ready. Now I'm ready. So I'm gonna turn it back over, and then I'm gonna cut it on and go all the way over to set, I'm guessing. And I don't know if you can see that menu real good, but after I practice a little bit with this thing and get used to the menus and know what I'm talking about, we'll come back and we'll go through the menus. Okay. Let's see. About looking at the menu. And after doing my little studying, that menu is so simple that there's really only a couple of things that you might need to know. course, you got your menu button and OK, up, down, left, right. That's kind of how you navigate this thing. Hitting the menu button, right? Okay, and it's really asking you questions. The first thing is mode up at the top. It's got a little deer. Looks like he's hopping. That's kind of the icons or whatever the numbers are is kind of telling you what you've got set. So if I hit OK, it will have two options, right? And that's pretty self-explanatory. So I'm just gonna hit the menu button to kind of bring me back in my list, right? Okay, and the next one, you can tell it's got a camera there. So I've got it set up camera. If you hit your OK button, you got three options: photo, video, photo plus video, okay? Don't get no more clearer than that, I would think. Hit your menu button, go back to your list. So forth and so on. And you can see I've got 20 megapixels set, and you can set it for anything you want. I won't hang around here. You're starting to get the idea. Photo burst. I kind of think that I would want, just in case the first one was blurry for whatever reason, it gives me two shots at maybe getting a good picture, maybe even three. So I'm gonna toy around with that idea and see how that goes. Menu button, back to your list. Video quality. I'm not using video, but if, you know, like I say, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop going through all these because they're so simple and straightforward. And I read in the manual about this MP4, they're asking you the video format. Industry-wide, MP4 is the most used and utilized, but MOV, if that's something that you understand and know, and I'm sure you can do that, but MP4 is what I've selected. Back to my list. Detection, delay, in other words, it ain't gonna just click, 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 take pictures. You know, you got a delay between these pictures so you don't fill your SD card up, okay? My resolution, my sensitivity to my little IR sensor is high, okay? And I won't go in that menu because they're pretty much all the same. Motion test, you can do a motion test in here. Okay, I'll do this real quick. I'll hit OK. I'm gonna stick my hand in front of the camera. See how it just clicks real quick? Okay, I'm gonna go back to my menu. Okay, go back down real quick. Once you get used to this menu, it's just really easy. Okay. Time-lapse interval, that's something if you want to do time-lapse, and that's pretty simple. Time zone, you know, I want to show you, you click on the United States, Central Time, okay, and then just hit menu, go back to your list. Date and time, okay. Now, to be honest, this was, I thought I should hit my down arrow to go down to my time, but it don't. Look at this like reading a sentence. Month, day, year, 12:02 p.m. Just keep hitting that right arrow. Now, when you get to the bottom line by using the right arrow, it's just keep cycling through your hours until you get the PM or AM. You can't set it PM or AM, okay? So if you get that idea, then hit your menu and then you're back out. And you go down date, format, and all of this is self-explanatory pretty much. It's so easy. This menu is so easy. I ain't gonna bore you with this, okay? Because I know that the people I'm talking to are just too intelligent to have to be bored with it. So I'm getting out of this. And I'm done with the menu as far as I'm concerned. And then what I'm gonna do is hit the on button, if I can do it. Well, I hit off, because I'm doing this with one hand. Okay, that's in the middle, right? Okay, and it's doing this. Preparing for motion detection. 22 seconds, 21, 20. Okay, you get the idea. We're done with that. Now, I've tested my camera. It works great. I love it. I've even walked around the room. I'm sorry for the sloppy room, but it is what it is, right? But I've got another little trick that I'm fixing to add in another video. Now, it's actually ready for motion detection, and it's cutting all this off because it had to run all this while you're using your camera. You wouldn't have no battery, okay? You can actually see the old man in the reflection. Anyway, I've also got a little trick to use with this. It's called the SpyPoint Cell-Link, and I'm fixing to set that up next. It may be a separate video, or it may be attached to this one. I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm out. Okay, friends and neighbors. The other device I was telling you about, the little trick, is I am going to try to get all my pictures sent from this camera that I just made a video about and set up, my BlazeVideo camera. Okay, that one we just went through on the other video. Like I said, I may put it all on the same video, but I'm thinking I may split this up. But this thing is supposed to give me cell service, and it's supposed to be able to, it's got a little umbilical to it that plugs into the SD card slot. And this little device has its own little micro SD card slot. So we're gonna figure this thing out together. Now, the one thing that bugged me when I bought this thing, and they never had a setting or a list of what carriers, but from what I understand, it's configurable from the map, the app that you download, which is SpyPoint Cell-Link app, and I've done downloaded that, and we'll look at that in a minute. But from what I understand, you select, like I use Verizon, right? Now, I don't care if the thing uses AT&T or Sprint or T-Mobile. I don't care, as long as, because it ain't got nothing to do with my service on my phone. It has to do with whether I can pick up a signal so I can have it sent to my phone through this app. That's the only thing I'm concerned about. So I'm interested to see if I can select Verizon, because I know when I'm down there on my property, I can get Verizon service pretty good. All right, let me unbox this thing, and then I'll check back with you. Okay, let's see what we get. We get this little manual and the little gadget itself, and apparently this antenna, you have to plug that in, and then this thing kind of looks about the size of an SD card with a cable, and I'm pretty sure that plugs in the bottom of this. Then you got a strap just like you would for your trail camera. Let me get it out and see if we can get some batteries in it. Okay, as I took this thing just out of the box, I noticed this DC 12 volt. I like that idea, okay, because this camera right over here has the same thing, 12 volts. So, you know, I am a low budget fella. I don't make a lot of money. So, you know, I'm always trying to squeeze a buck, and I'm thinking, you know, okay, we're setting this thing up with batteries and everything. Well, what if we got us some kind of splitter or whatnot to go to both this 12 volt, my camera 12 volt, and get some kind of, and I think Harbor Freight has a solar cell, one of them, you know, I don't know, a 24 by 30 or something. And it also has a kit for it, which you can charge a little 12 volt battery. And if that's the case, and you can somehow or another arrange it, you could who knows how long you could keep this out in the field with that right there. That is very interesting. Okay, opening it up, it's got a little pull-out tab for your micro SD card. It's also pointing to where your little latch is for your battery case. And then it's got all your instructions right there on the lid on how to set this thing up. So let me load these batteries, and I'm gonna follow them instructions, and I'll be back. Okay, I've got my little micro SD that I talked about earlier, about half in and half out. And you know, I can go over and plug this into my laptop and format this thing, because I don't believe you can format it right here. But I remember setting up my camera, it had a menu setting for formatting this thing. So guess what? I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna pop the other one, that other SD card adapter and micro SD chip, 32 gig memory out that I've done formatted for my camera, and I'm gonna go and see if I can format that in this other camera, and then see if it'll work in this gadget here. If it will, you don't even have to have your laptop, as long as you got your Cell-Link with you. All right, okay, there's my little chip, and there's my adapter, and I just got through sticking it in my camera. And it, in the menu, it's got where you can format this guy, okay? And I formatted it, so now I'm gonna take this little strip out, and I'm gonna put the formatted SD card into the slot, and they say it has to be formatted before you can use it. So, okay, we'll see if it works. Okay, my card is in there, and just for informational purposes, follow that little picture on the right side. It's showing the little brass tab sticking up at you. That's how you want to insert it. And you can, it's kind of springy, and you kind of have to use your fingernail and push it all the way in, or it don't catch. Okay, just letting you know that. Okay, I got my batteries loaded into this little carriage, and we're ready to go. All right. I guess I better get my app opened up in my phone. Well, there's one other detail you got to do. Yeah, you can put your batteries in your SD card, but you can't forget to put your little antenna on there, because I think they use that for a signal, to find a signal. Anyway, we'll get that plugged up, and then we'll cut it on, according to the directions on the lid. Okay, we got that antenna on there. Now, according to the instructions, the next thing to do is power it on. So that's what we're going to do. Now, seeing as how it does have a tripod mount on this thing too, that you can buy from Amazon, you know, screw it into a tree and whatnot, but it'll also work with a camera tripod also. So that's it's easier to hold. I know it's get sideways, but it would be like this. But anyway, let's cut this thing on. Now, it's supposed to acquire a signal of some sort, I'm guessing. You want green, any kind of green, but it's supposed to send some kind of network signal. So hopefully this thing will do it, and we're doing it in real time to see how it would ordinarily do. I think you let it run for a few seconds, it hunts for a signal. When it finds one, it just cuts off. I'm thinking. Okay. And to be honest with you, my cell phone don't really get good service right here. Okay, it stopped. And I do got one green bar. But this is not where I'm gonna use the camera. I've got better reception in other places. But the fact that it actually got a signal is good. So, and supposedly this is supposed to go off because even LED lights use some battery power. So it's supposed to, I'm saying they're supposed to go off. Fitting to make a liar out of me, apparently. Either I need to keep reading my instructions. It's been longer than 30 seconds. I would think. Come on, friend, tell me. Wasn't that a long 30 seconds? Okay. Now I gotta go into my app and set this thing up. All right, I kinda got this thing strapped onto my tripod in some kind of way. I've got it already plugged into my camera, into my SD slot. Cable's coming down, going around. And so I cut my camera on and it should be ready to trigger. And this is supposed to be that 30-second wait. That's actually the cell signal. The two red bars is well, a red and an amber and then a green. Well, if it's only got two other bars, and that would be like full strength, good cell signal. But they recommend you at least having one green bar, which I got. But I have seen a fellow in another video which actually got a picture sent to his camera and he only had two. And possibly just one, you might accidentally get a signal. And I just got a message popped up on my phone saying something about a picture being sent, I think. Let me go check it. I'm fixing to button this thing up. Okay, and if you can see, I've got my antenna that's sticking over there. And it's all hooked to my camera. So a cheap camera, and you go buy this SpyPoint Cell-Link thing, and it was easy to set up. And so far, I'm pretty happy with it. And I know the cell signal here is not that good where I live. So, and down on my other property, the cell is better. So I'm gonna be, like I said, I'm not a hunter, but I'm I'm hunting an individual that's been traipsing across my property and taking stuff. Anyway, that's my video. If you liked it or something, give me a thumbs up, maybe subscribe. All right, peace out.